Imagine waking up every day with a clear sense of control, knowing exactly what you need to do, when to do it, and how to do it, all without feeling overwhelmed or stressed. Imagine being able to finish your most important work ahead of time, still having energy left to enjoy your passions, your family, and your life. What if mastering your time could unlock a new level of freedom, success, and peace you never thought possible? Time is the one resource we all share equally, 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. Yet, some people seem to accomplish incredible things, while others feel trapped in a cycle of busyness and frustration. The secret? They have learned how to manage time not as a chaotic force, but as a steady, reliable partner. This audiobook is your guide to becoming that master time, someone who doesn't just react to clock, but shapes their life around intentional, focused moments. You will discover the Time Management Circle, a simple yet transformative method that will teach you how to plan with clarity, prioritize what truly matters, execute with laser focus, and reflect with wisdom. Whether you struggle to meet deadlines, feel overwhelmed by tasks, or simply want to unlock more hours in your day to live the life you dream of, this journey will change how you see time forever. Get ready to take control, break free from distraction, and finally become the master of your own clock. Your time starts now. Chapter 1. Understand the power of time and why mastery matters. Time is the invisible thread that weaves through every moment of our lives. It is constant, unyielding, and impartial, offering no favors, no do-overs, and no pauses. For every person, whether a student trying to balance school and friends, an entrepreneur juggling multiple projects, or a parent managing a household, the clock ticks relentlessly forward. Despite this relentless march, the way we experience time varies dramatically. Some days fly by in a blur of frantic activity, leaving us drained and overwhelmed. Other days pass quietly, filled with calm focus and meaningful accomplishments. The difference is not in the time itself. It is in how we manage it. Mastering time is about more than just cramming as many tasks as possible into your day. It is about learning to navigate the landscape of your hours with intention, clarity, and purpose. When you master time, you reclaim control over your life. You stop feeling like a passenger on a runaway train and start driving your own journey. But why is mastering time so crucial in today's world? The answer lies in how life has changed around us. In an era saturated with endless information, constant notifications, and countless demands pulling at our attention, time feels more scarce than ever. The average person faces a barrage of emails, messages, meetings, and distractions that fragment focus and sap energy. In this chaos, time management becomes a survival skill. It is the difference between living reactively, always chasing deadlines and putting out fires, and living proactively, setting your course, making deliberate choices, and moving steadily toward your goals. To master time, you need a clear framework, a circle, not a line, because managing your hours is not a one-time act, but a continual process of learning, adjusting, and improving. This is where the Time Management Circle comes into play. The Time Management Circle is built on 4 pillars that repeat endlessly: plan, prioritize, execute, and reflect. Each step connects to the next in a seamless flow, creating a rhythm that becomes second nature. Planning is your foundation. Without it, you wander through your day like a ship without a compass. But planning alone is not enough. Prioritizing helps you focus on what truly matters, cutting through the noise of less important tasks. Execution turns your intentions into reality, demanding discipline and attention. Reflection then allows you to pause, learn from your experience, and prepare for the next cycle with greater wisdom. Embracing this circle is like learning to dance with time instead of fighting it. It gives you structure while allowing flexibility. It encourages focus, but also invites rest and recalibration. Over time, this process sharpens your ability to sense where your energy is best spent and how to pace yourself for sustainable success. In the chapters ahead, you'll explore each pillar in depth, discovering tools, strategies, and insights that make the Time Management Circle a practical and powerful guide. You'll learn how to break down overwhelming goals into manageable steps, how to spot and silence distractions, and how to build habits that support lasting productivity. More importantly, you'll understand that mastering time is not about perfection. It's about progress. Each day you engage with the circle, you grow stronger, more confident, and more capable of turning your dreams into achievable realities. By the end of this journey, you won't just have learned how to manage time. You'll have transformed how you live, work, and create. Time will no longer be your enemy or a source of stress, but your most valuable ally. Your adventure begins here with the first step, understanding time not as a tyrant, but as a resource waiting to be mastered. Chapter 2, The Art and Science of Planning. Crafting your roadmap to success. Every journey, no matter how great or small, begins with a plan. Without a map or a clear sense of direction, you risk wandering aimlessly, wasting precious time and energy on distractions or detours. In the realm of time management, planning is a cornerstone of mastery. The moment where you pause, look ahead, and decide how best to navigate your day, week, or even your entire life. Planning isn't simply about jotting down a list of tasks. It is a thoughtful, purposeful act of shaping your intentions into a structured framework that guides your actions. It is where dreams begin to take form, where vague ambitions transform into concrete steps, and where the chaos of a busy life is organized into manageable pieces. Why is planning so essential? Because without it, time slips away unnoticed, seized by endless interruptions, urgent yet trivial tasks, or the seductive pull of procrastination. Planning creates boundaries around your day, protecting what matters most, and allowing you to move forward with clarity and confidence. But planning can feel overwhelming. Many people approach it like a chore, something to get through quickly, or to-do lists that grow endlessly without any real direction. Others avoid it altogether, diving straight into action only to realize they spent hours on low-impact tasks or ended the day feeling exhausted but unaccomplished. To unlock the power of planning, you need to treat it as an art and a science. It's an art because it requires creativity, self-awareness, and adaptability. It's a science because it benefits from practical methods, tools, and discipline. Start with your goals. What do you want to achieve? These can be big or small, professional or personal, short-term or long-term. The clearer your goals, the easier it becomes to break them down into actionable steps. Once your goals are defined, look at your available time honestly. Planning is most effective when grounded in reality. How many hours do you truly have each day? What commitments are fixed? And where can you carve out time for your priorities? From there, begin breaking your goals into specific tasks. Instead of vague statements like, work on project, be precise, write introduction for report, or call client to discuss proposal. Clear tasks make planning actionable. Use tools that suit your style, digital calendars, planners, apps, or even a simple notebook. The best plan is one you will actually use consistently. Incorporate deadlines and milestones to create momentum and track progress. Flexibility is key. Life rarely follows a rigid script. Unexpected events will arise. Plans will shift and priorities may change. Your plan should be a living document that adapts, not a chain that binds you. In this phase, it's also vital to allocate time for breaks and rest. Planning is not about filling every minute with work, but about creating a balanced schedule that sustains energy and creativity. Planning daily, weekly, and monthly helps you zoom in and out of your goals, connecting the immediate actions with long-term vision. Each planning session builds on the last, creating a powerful cycle of preparation and execution. Remember, the quality of your plan determines the quality of your day. A thoughtful plan guards against overwhelm, reduces stress, and sets you on a path where your efforts have purpose and impact. As you move through the time management circle, planning will become your compass, helping you steer through distractions and stay focused on what truly moves you forward. With your plan in place, the next step is learning to prioritize, deciding which tasks demand your attention first and which can wait. This decision-making process is what transforms a good plan into a great one. Chapter 3, The Power of Prioritization. Choosing what truly matters. In a world overflowing with endless tasks, messages, and demands, the ability to prioritize is like a superpower. It separates those who achieve meaningful progress from those who feel stuck in a whirlwind of busyness. Without prioritization, even the best plans can become overwhelming, leading to frustration and wasted effort. Prioritization is the art of discerning what tasks and goals deserve your immediate attention and which can wait or be delegated. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. When you face a long list of things to do, it's tempting to start with the easiest tasks or the ones that scream the loudest. But this approach often leads to busy work that doesn't push your most important goals forward. Instead, prioritization invites you to step back and evaluate the impact of each task. One of the most helpful tools in mastering prioritization is the Eisenhower Matrix, named after Dwight D. Eisenhower, who famously said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." This matrix divides tasks into 4 categories: urgent and important. These tasks demand immediate action and have significant consequences. They might be deadlines, crises, or essential responsibilities. Important but not urgent. These tasks contribute to your long-term goals, growth, and values but don't require immediate attention. Urgent but not important. These tasks demand attention now, but don't align closely with your goals. They're often interruptions or distractions, neither urgent nor important. These are low-value tasks that offer little benefit and often consume time mindlessly. The key to effective prioritization is focusing your energy on the first 2 categories, handling urgent and important tasks promptly and dedicating time to important but not urgent tasks before they become emergencies. Another vital aspect is recognizing your own rhythms. Some people focus best early in the morning. Others find their peak productivity in the afternoon or evening. Scheduling your highest priority work during your personal peak hours maximizes effectiveness. Prioritization also requires courage and discipline to say no to less important requests, interruptions, or habits that steal your focus. It means setting boundaries and protecting your time like a valuable asset. Sometimes, prioritization involves breaking large projects into smaller milestones, celebrating progress along the way, and adjusting priorities as circumstances change. It's a dynamic process that grows with your experience. By mastering prioritization, you sharpen your focus and make your plan a powerful tool for progress rather than a source of stress. It helps you spend your time on what truly matters, ensuring that your efforts build toward your dreams. Next, with your plan prioritized, you'll move into execution, the phase where all the preparation and decision-making come alive through focused action. Chapter 4. Execution. Turning plans into powerful action. Execution is the moment when your intentions meet reality. It is the bridge between dreaming and achieving, the place where goals transform from ideas on paper into tangible accomplishments. While planning and prioritizing set the stage, execution is a performance, demanding focus, discipline, and resilience. Many people stumble here. They have well-crafted plans and clear priorities, but struggle to follow through. The reasons vary: distractions, procrastination, lack of energy, or simply not knowing how to start. Yet, execution is where mastery of time management is truly tested. To execute effectively, the first key is focus. In our hyperconnected world, distractions lurk everywhere, from smartphones buzzing with notifications to an endless stream of emails and social media. Learning to shield yourself from these interruptions is vital. This might mean turning off notifications, creating a dedicated workspace, or using apps designed to block distracting websites during work sessions. Another powerful method to enhance execution is time blocking, assigning fixed periods on your calendar to work exclusively on specific tasks. By dedicating uninterrupted time slots, you create a rhythm and structure that naturally pushes you toward completion. Similarly, the Pomodoro technique offers a simple but effective approach. Work intensely for 25 minutes, then take a short break. This cycle repeats, helping maintain high energy and focus while preventing burnout. Short bursts of dedicated work, followed by rest, keep your mind sharp and motivated. Starting is often the hardest part. To overcome this, break tasks into bite-sized pieces. Instead of staring at a massive project, commit to just the first step. Once you begin, momentum builds, making continuation easier. Execution also means embracing imperfection. Waiting for perfect conditions or flawless plans can lead to paralysis. Instead, take consistent action, learn as you go, and adjust your approach based on feedback. Discipline plays a crucial role here, sticking to your plan even when motivation wanes. Cultivating habits around your work, like a morning routine or a set start time, can automate discipline and and make execution more reliable. Equally important is balancing intensity with rest. Overworking drains energy and reduces productivity over time. Scheduling breaks, honoring your body's need for rest, and practicing self-care fuels sustained performance. Tracking your progress during execution helps maintain accountability and motivation. Celebrate small wins. They build confidence and reinforce positive habits. Finally, execution is not a solitary act. Seeking support, collaborating with others, or sharing your goals can create external accountability and encouragement. When you master execution, you convert potential into achievement. Each completed task is a step closer to your vision, a proof of your growing command over your time. With execution underway, the last phase of the time management circle calls for reflection, pausing to learn, improve, and prepare for what's next. Chapter 5. Reflection, the key to continuous improvement and mastery. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of doing. We plan, prioritize, and execute, always focus on the next task, the next deadline, the next goal. Yet, one of the most powerful tools for improving time management is often overlooked: reflection. Reflection is the art of stepping back, pausing to forward momentum, and taking a moment to assess your progress. It's about looking at the choices you made, the strategies you implemented, and the outcomes that followed. By doing this, you gain valuable insights that can inform your next steps and ultimately make you more effective at managing time. Why is reflection so important? Without it, we're simply repeating actions without learning from them. We may get caught in the same patterns, struggle with the same challenges, or miss out on valuable opportunities to optimize our approach. Reflection allows us to assess what's working, what's not, and why, giving us the clarity to adjust and improve. At the end of each day, week, or month, take time to ask yourself a few key questions. What went well? Acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small. Celebrating wins, especially the incremental ones, reinforces positive habits and boosts morale. When go as planned, be honest with yourself about where things fell short. Were there tasks you didn't complete? Were there distractions that derailed you? The goal here isn't to judge or criticize, but to identify obstacles and understand why they occurred. What could I do differently? Reflection is about learning. Maybe you need to tweak your planning process, reevaluate your priorities, or adjust your execution strategy. Perhaps you notice that you're more productive during certain hours of the day, or that some tasks take longer than expected. Use these insights to refine your future approach. How did I feel throughout the process? Time management is not just about getting things done. It's about doing it in a way that is sustainable and fulfilling. Were you overwhelmed, or did you feel in control? Did your work give you a sense of accomplishment, or did you feel burned out? Reflection helps you adjust not only for effectiveness, but also for well-being. The reflection process doesn't have to be lengthy or complicated. Even a few minutes at the end of each day, or a deeper reflection at the end of the week, can offer profound benefits. The key is to make a consistent habit. As you reflect regularly, you start to notice patterns and trends in your productivity, mood, and approach to tasks. Moreover, reflection connects all the steps of the time management circle. When you reflect, you learn from your planning mistakes or triumphs. You can reprioritize tasks based on what you've learned. You also adjust your execution strategy to make it more effective, knowing where you thrive and where you struggle. Tracking your progress is a great tool during reflection. Keep a journal, log, or digital record of your goals, tasks, and time blocks. This provides a concrete history of what worked well, what didn't, and why. Tracking is not about perfection. It's about progress. When you look back on your entries, you can spot improvement over time, reinforcing the belief that time management is a skill that gets stronger with practice. Importantly, reflection fuels growth. The more you review and adjust your approach, the better you become at managing your time and, by extension, your life. You move from simply reacting to time to proactively shaping it to align with your values and ambitions. Reflection allows you to become more mindful of how you use your hours, ensuring that your time is spent in ways that move you toward your highest priorities. Ultimately, reflection is the final piece of the puzzle. It completes the time management circle. As you improve your time management skills, You'll find that each cycle of planning, prioritizing, executing, and reflecting becomes smoother and more efficient. Over time, this circle will no longer feel like a rigid structure you need to follow, but rather a natural rhythm that guides you through your day, your week, and your life. You'll begin to notice a shift in how you approach time, not as a scarce resource, but as a valuable asset to be used wisely. You'll develop the mindset of a true time master, someone who manages time with precision, intention, and wisdom. And as you continue reflecting, planning, prioritizing, and executing, you'll unlock the potential to achieve more, stress less, and live a more fulfilled life. Chapter 6: The Rejection Muscle. Strengthening your ability to say no. In a world constantly pulling us in different directions, one of the most powerful skills you can cultivate is the ability to say no. It might seem simple on the surface, but for many people, saying no can be incredibly difficult. We often feel guilty for rejecting requests, afraid of disappointing others, or anxious about missing opportunities. However, mastering the art of saying no is one of the most liberating and empowering practices in time management. Imagine a world where every time someone asks for your help, you respond with clarity and confidence, fully aware of your own priorities and limitations. Saying no doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It means honoring your time, your energy, and your values. It means setting boundaries and protecting what truly matters. The reason saying no is so difficult for many of us is rooted in our fear of rejection or the desire to be liked. We are social creatures, and the fear of upsetting others can often outweigh our need to protect our time. However, constantly saying yes, whether it's a request from colleagues, friends, family, or even person distractions, leaves us stretched thin, overcommit, and drained. This leads to burnout, stress, and a decrease in our ability to focus on what's truly important. The key to overcoming this challenge is to build your rejection muscle. Just like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Strengthening your ability to say no is a practice, a skill you can develop with time and consistency. It starts with recognizing that saying no is not an act of selfishness, but a form of self-respect. When you protect your time, you're ensuring that you can be fully present and productive when you do say yes to something meaningful. Here are a few strategies to help you build and flex your rejection muscle. Know your priorities. When you're clear about your goals and values, it becomes easier to say no to things that don't align with them. Ask yourself, does this request help me move toward my long-term objectives? If not, it's a good signal that it may be worth saying no. The clearer you are on your priorities, the easier it becomes to reject distractions and low-value commitments. Use the I don't have the time approach. Sometimes, saying no is about acknowledging that you simply don't have the time or energy to take on something else. This is not an excuse. It's a factual response. Politely explain that you're currently focused on other commitments and cannot take on additional tasks. Set clear boundaries. One of the most effective ways to say no without feeling guilty is by setting boundaries up front. For example, if you have a rule that you don't work weekends, stick to it. If you allocate certain hours for focused work, protect those times by politely declining meetings or social invitations during those hours. Boundaries create a framework where saying no becomes easier because others know your limits. Practice saying no in small ways. Strengthening your rejection muscle doesn't have to start with big, uncomfortable rejections. Start by saying no to small, everyday requests that don't align with your priorities. It could be declining an invitation to a social event you're not interested in, or letting someone know you can't take on a small favor at work. Each time you say no, it gets easier. Don't over-explain. When you say no, there's no need to offer long explanations or apologies. Keep your response simple and respectful. I'm unable to take this on right now, or this isn't a good fit for me at the moment, are enough. Over-explaining can create unnecessary guilt or open the door for further negotiation. Recognize the power of saying yes to yourself. Saying no is not just about rejecting others. It's about saying yes to your own well-being and goals. Each time you say no to a task or request that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to the things that matter most. Over time, you'll find that you're more intentional with your time, and your energy is focused on what truly aligns with your vision. Embrace the discomfort. The first few times you say no, it may feel uncomfortable. You might fear that others will be upset or that you will miss out on opportunities. However, over time, this discomfort fades. Saying no becomes easier and more natural as you see the positive impact it has on your productivity, your peace of mind, and your ability to focus on what matters. By building this rejection muscle, you develop the ability to protect your time and energy, allowing you to spend them on things that truly matter. Saying no becomes a powerful tool in your time management toolkit, a tool that helps you stay focused, stay aligned with your goals, and ultimately achieve greater success and fulfillment. The next chapter will delve into how to prioritize your time even further by recognizing and eliminating time wasters, those tasks and habits that drain your energy without offering any significant return. Chapter 7, Time Vampires, How to Identify and Eliminate the Hidden Energy Drainers. We all have those tasks, habits, and even people that seem to suck the life out of our productivity. These are the time vampires. The subtle distractions, low-value activities, and energy-draining habits that steal away precious hours of your day. Unlike urgent, high-impact tasks, time vampires lurk in the background, making small but cumulative demands on your attention until you look up and realize your day has slipped away. Identifying these time thieves is the first step in mastering your time. Once you recognize what they are, you can start taking steps to eliminate or minimize their impact, freeing up valuable space for more important activities that drive you toward your goals. The hidden nature of time vampires. Time vampires are often sneaky. They don't always seem harmful at first, and they rarely present themselves as obvious distractions. In fact, many of them might appear productive or necessary in the moment. For instance, answering a seemingly innocent email, attending a quick meeting, or scrolling through social media might feel like progress or relaxation at the time, but when accumulated, these seemingly small tasks rob you of focus and energy. Here are some common time vampires that can quietly drain your day. Unnecessary meetings. Meetings are one of the most notorious time vampires in the modern workplace. Many meetings drag on longer than necessary, often without a clear agenda or purpose. Attending meetings that don't require your input or that don't directly align with your priorities can eat up valuable time. To combat this, start asking if a meeting is truly necessary. Can the information be shared via email? Could a quick phone call suffice? If you do need to attend, try to keep the discussion focused and ensure the meeting ends on time. Constant interruptions. Whether it's phone calls, emails, or text messages, interruptions can severely hinder your ability to focus. Every time you switch tasks, it takes time to regain your concentration and get back on track. To protect your time, set specific times throughout the day to check your messages and stick to them. Use tools like Do Not Disturb mode on your phone or computer to limit unnecessary distractions during deep work sessions. Procrastination. One of the most insidious time vampires is procrastination. It's not always about avoiding tasks. Sometimes, it's about avoiding the discomfort or perceived difficulty of a task. This leads to wasted time spent on less important activities, like checking emails or organizing your desk, just to avoid the task at hand. To break the cycle of procrastination, focus on the first step technique. Just commit to working on a task for 5 minutes. Once you get started, it's often easier to continue. Social media and internet surfing. The endless scrolling, liking, and commenting on social media platforms can eat up hours of your day without you even realizing it. While social media can be a valuable tool for connection and information, it's also a massive time sink if not used with intention. To eliminate this vampire, consider using apps that track and limit your social media usage, or designate specific times during the day when you can engage online. Low-value tasks. These are the tasks that seem like they're important but don't actually move you toward your goals. They might be repetitive, low-priority activities that fill your time without creating meaningful progress. These can include answering non-urgent emails, organizing files that don't need immediate attention, or doing work that others could handle. Identify tasks that don't align with your key goals and delegate or defer them. Perfectionism. Striving for perfection on every task can easily turn into a time vampire. Perfectionism leads to overworking, redoing tasks, and endlessly tweaking things that don't need it. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on progress and completion. Done is better than perfect, and often the extra time spent polishing a task doesn't yield significant improvements. People who drain your energy. While we often think of time vampires as inanimate tasks, certain people can drain your energy just as effectively. Whether it's negative colleagues, friends who demand constant attention, or family members who make excessive requests, these individuals can steal your focus and emotional energy. Learning how to set boundaries with these people, whether it's saying no to time-consuming requests or limiting exposure to negative environments, can be a game changer. How to eliminate time vampires. Now that you've identified these energy-draining habits and distractions, it's time to take action. Here's how to fight back and reclaim your time. Time blocking for focus work. One of the best ways to protect your time is by using time blocking. Set aside specific blocks of time during the day dedicated solely to important tasks. During these blocks, eliminate all distractions. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs or apps and set boundaries with those around you. Delegate or automate. If a task is not essential for you to complete, delegate it or automate it. Delegation allows you to free up your time for tasks that require your expertise, while automation can handle repetitive tasks for you. From setting up automated bill payments to delegating non-core tasks to team members, leverage tools and resources to reduce your workload. Practice the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. This prevents small tasks from piling up and becoming overwhelming. It's a quick way to clear your to-do list without letting minor tasks consume your day. Set boundaries with social media and technology. Use apps that block distracting sites, or set specific times for social media use. Try to reduce mindless browsing by setting a timer, or only allow yourself to scroll during designated breaks. Eliminate perfectionism. Set realistic standards for your work, recognizing that perfection is often an unattainable goal. Focus on delivering quality and completing tasks, rather than obsessing over the smallest details. Limit interactions with energy-draining people. Evaluate your relationships and identify those that drain your time and energy. Set boundaries where needed. Be clear about your availability and learn to say no when necessary. Surround yourself with positive, motivated individuals who encourage your growth and support your time management goals. Use the power of saying no. As discussed earlier, strengthening your rejection muscle will help you avoid unnecessary commitments that feed time vampires. By saying no to unimportant tasks or people, you create space for what really matters. Time vampires may always be lurking, but with awareness and proactive strategies, you can keep them at bay. By eliminating these energy drainers, you free up valuable time and focus that can be used to move forward with your most important work. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to retrain your brain to stay productive and avoid falling back into old habits. This process involves building a powerful mindset for success, one that keeps you aligned with your goals and supports your time management journey. Chapter 8. Retraining your brain, building a mindset for lasting productivity. Your brain is an incredible machine. It is capable of immense focus, creativity, and productivity. Yet, without proper training, it can easily fall prey to distractions, negative habits, and self-sabotage. Retraining your brain for sustained focus and productivity is a crucial aspect of time management. It's about reshaping how you think, how you approach tasks, and how you respond to challenges. The mind is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be honed and sharpened. The good news is that with practice and consistency, you can train your brain to prioritize, focus, and perform at its best. This mental conditioning doesn't happen overnight, but with dedication, you can rewire your brain for long-term success. The science of habits and productivity. The foundation of retraining your brain starts with understanding how habits are formed. Our brains thrive on routines. When you repeat an action over and over, your brain creates neural pathways that make the action more automatic. This is the essence of habit formation. Habits can be positive or negative. A positive habit, like consistently waking up early to plan your day, can lead to sustained productivity. A negative habit, like procrastinating on important tasks, can derail your time management efforts. To retrain your brain, you need to interrupt negative habits and replace them with positive ones. This process doesn't involve simply forcing yourself to change. It's about gradually shifting your mindset and creating new patterns of thinking and behaving that align with your goals. Step 1. Set clear intentions and goals. The first step in retraining your brain is setting clear intentions. What do you want to achieve, and why does it matter to you? When your brain understands the purpose behind your actions, it becomes easy to focus on your tasks. Start by setting specific, measurable, and achievable goals. Break them down into smaller, manageable tasks, and ensure each one is aligned with your long-term objectives. The clearer your goals are, the easier it will be to stay motivated and stay on track. This clarity will help you resist distractions and keep your brain focused on what's most important. Step 2. Embrace the power of consistency. Consistency is key when retraining your brain. Developing positive habits and shifting your mindset requires regular practice. This means setting up daily routines that support your goals. For example, if you want to be more productive in the morning, create a morning routine that gets you in the right headspace. Whether it's meditation, a healthy breakfast, or reviewing your goals for the day, consistency in your daily habits will strengthen the neural pathways that support productivity. When you make certain actions automatic, your brain can shift its focus to more important tasks. Over time, consistency becomes a powerful tool that minimizes decision fatigue and allows you to stay focused on the task at hand. Step 3. Use visualization to reinforce positive outcomes. Visualization is a powerful technique for retraining your brain. By imagining yourself succeeding, whether it's completing a project, hitting a milestone, or accomplishing a goal, you create a mental image of success that your brain works to bring into reality. Visualization strengthens neural connections associated with success, making it easier for your brain to focus and push through challenges. Before starting a task, take a few moments to visualize yourself completing it successfully. Imagine how you will feel once it's done. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for action and reinforces a positive outcome, making it easy to take the first step and keep moving forward. Step 4. Reframe negative thoughts. One of the most common roadblocks to productivity is negative thinking. Thoughts like, "I'll never get this done," or "this task is too hard," can paralyze your ability to take action. These negative beliefs create resistance and undermine your time management efforts. To retrain your brain, you must reframe these thoughts. Instead of focusing on how difficult a task is, focus on how rewarding it will be to complete it. Instead of thinking, "I'll never get this done," think, "I will take it one step at a time, and I'll make progress." Cognitive reframing helps shift your mindset from a fixed, limiting perspective to one of growth and possibility. It encourages resilience and strengthens your ability to push through challenges, ultimately boosting your productivity. Step 5. Practice mindfulness and focus. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present in the moment, can greatly improve your focus and productivity. When you train your brain to stay present, you eliminate distractions and improve your ability to concentrate on the task at hand. Mindfulness also helps you avoid the habit of multitasking, which is often a productivity killer. Start by practicing mindfulness techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, or simply paying attention to your senses as you work. These practices help you tune into the task, reduce stress, and enhance cognitive function. As you train your brain to be more present, you'll find that it's easier to focus on the task at hand and avoid distractions. Step 6. Reward yourself for successes. Your brain thrives on positive reinforcement. When you complete a task or achieve a goal, reward yourself. This creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens the neural pathways associated with productivity. Rewards don't have to be big. They can be as simple as a short break, a treat, or acknowledging your progress. Rewards provide a sense of satisfaction and motivation, encouraging you to keep up the good work. The more you reward your brain for positive actions, the more likely it is to repeat those behaviors in the future. Step 7. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Retraining your brain takes time. It's important to be patient with yourself and recognize that setbacks are part of the process. There will be days when productivity feels elusive or when old habits resurface. The key is to be compassionate with yourself and stay committed to the process. Acknowledge your progress, celebrate your wins, and learn from your setbacks. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory in retraining your brain for sustained productivity. Retraining your brain for productivity is an ongoing process, But with each practice, each shift in mindset, you'll build a stronger foundation for success. With a focused mind and disciplined habits, you'll unlock a new level of efficiency and effectiveness in managing your time. Chapter 9. Relationships without resentment. Protecting your time. Preserving your peace. One of the greatest challenges in mastering time management is ensuring that your personal relationships don't suffer as you focus on your goals and responsibilities. It's easy to get so caught up in the demands of work, self-improvement, and productivity that we forget to nurture the most important connections in our lives. Over time, this can create resentment, both from others who feel neglected and from ourselves, as we become overwhelmed by the constant balancing act. The key to maintaining healthy, supportive relationships while effectively managing your time lies in setting clear boundaries and practicing communication. It's about knowing when to say yes and when to say no, not just to your time, but to the people in your life. When done effectively, this creates an environment where everyone's needs are respected and valued, without the guilt or burnout that often comes from overcommitting. The importance of boundaries in relationships. Boundaries are not walls. They are agreements we make with ourselves and others to ensure that our time, energy, and emotional resources are used wisely. Without boundaries, we risk overextending ourselves, agreeing to too many commitments, or accommodating others at the expense of our own well-being. In relationships, setting boundaries means defining what you're willing to give and what you are not. It might involve saying no to last-minute requests when you've already planned time for yourself, or explaining that you need time alone to recharge after a busy week. Establishing these boundaries doesn't mean you care any less about the person making a request. It means that you value your time and your well-being enough to honor your needs. For example, in your personal relationships, you might set a boundary around your work hours, letting loved ones know that you won't answer emails or take calls after a certain time. Or, in family relationships, you might create boundaries around your free time to avoid the feeling of being on call all the time. Setting clear, respectful boundaries allows you to engage fully when you're available, while also protecting your time for the things that matter most. Communicating your boundaries clearly. One of the most important aspects of time management in relationships is clear communication. When you set boundaries, it's essential to communicate them effectively to avoid misunderstandings or hurt feelings. This means being open, honest, and compassionate when explaining your needs, rather than making vague or evasive statements. Take the time to articulate your boundaries in a direct but respectful way. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm too busy to talk right now," try, "I've scheduled this time to focus on a personal project, and I need to honor that. Let's connect later today or tomorrow." Clear communication also involves checking in with others about their needs and expectations. It's not just about your boundaries, but about understanding how others feel and how you can support them while maintaining your own priorities. For instance, if your partner needs more quality time with you but you've been focused on work, have a conversation about how you can carve out time for each other without compromising your productivity. This mutual understanding creates respect and reduces the potential for resentment on both sides. Avoiding resentment through time management. Resentment often arises when we feel like we're constantly giving, whether it's our time, energy, or attention, without feeling that our needs are being met in return. This happens when we fail to prioritize ourselves or our goals, and instead prioritize the needs of others to our own detriment. Over time, this can lead to bitterness, stress, and a sense of being overwhelmed. Time management, however, offers a solution. By organizing your time effectively and setting boundaries, you ensure that you're not only giving your best to your work and others, but also to yourself. When you dedicate time for rest, self-care, and personal growth, you can engage with others in a more meaningful and energized way. You become better equipped to handle demands without feeling drained or resentful. In relationships, practicing time management helps you allocate quality time to your loved ones, rather than rushing through interactions or only giving them half of your attention. You become more intentional about how you spend your time together, making those moments richer and more fulfilling. For example, if you have limited time to spend with your family, be fully present during that time. Put away your phone, focus on a conversation, and engage in activities that strengthen the bond. On the flip side, if you're someone who feels resentful of constantly being asked for favors or help, Practice saying no politely but firmly, and make it clear that you need time for yourself to recharge. Balancing personal time with social commitments. One of the biggest challenges to time management in relationships is balancing your personal needs with the needs of others. It's easy to get caught up in social commitments, family obligations, friends, colleagues, and end up neglecting your own time. To prevent this, it's important to plan your personal time as carefully as you plan for social interactions. Consider scheduling me time just like you would a meeting or a social event. Whether it's time for hobbies, exercise, or simply relaxing, creating space for yourself ensures that you aren't overbooked and that you have the energy to be present in your relationships. It also helps you avoid feeling guilty when you say no to social requests, because you're already prioritizing your own well-being. The role of self-respect in time management and relationships. At the core of managing time in relationships is self-respect. It's about understanding that your time is valuable, that your personal needs matter, and that you have the right to protect your energy. When you respect your own time, others are more likely to respect it as well. Additionally, when you show up in your relationships as someone who values their time, you teach others how to do the same. They learn that your time is not an unlimited resource, and that mutual respect for each other's time is crucial to maintaining healthy, balanced connections. Maintaining harmony without overextending yourself. Ultimately, managing time in relationships is about finding harmony. It's about giving enough to your work, your loved ones, and yourself without overextending in any one area. By respecting your own time and setting boundaries, you ensure that your relationships remain strong, free from resentment, and based on mutual respect. By taking a thoughtful approach to how you manage time, you not only enhance your productivity, but also preserve the peace and joy in your relationships. Boundaries, communication, and a balanced allocation of time create an environment where everyone's needs are met without overwhelming anyone, including yourself. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to say no without guilt, a critical skill in protecting your time and maintaining healthy boundaries while avoiding burnout. Chapter 10. Saying no without guilt, how to set boundaries and protect your peace. One of the most empowering practices you can adopt in mastering time management is learning how to say no, and more importantly, learning how to say it without guilt. In a world that constantly demands our attention and time, saying no can feel like an act of rebellion. Society often conditions us to say yes to everything, to be people pleasers, and to avoid disappointing others. But saying yes to every request and demand is a fast track to stress, burnout, and resentment. The truth is, saying no is not a selfish act. It's a necessary one. It's about setting boundaries that preserve your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. And most importantly, it's about protecting your well-being so you can be your best self in all areas of your life. You cannot give your best if you're constantly overwhelmed by the needs of others. Learning how to say no without guilt is a skill that takes time to develop, but it is essential for achieving the time management balance you need to lead a productive, fulfilling life. In this chapter, we will explore how to say no with confidence, how to overcome the guilt that often accompanies it, and how to set clear, healthy boundaries that allow you to protect your time and energy. The power of no. Saying no is a powerful tool for controlling your time. It is the ultimate act of self-respect. When you say no, you are affirming that you value your time, your goals, and your well-being. It's not about rejecting people. It's about rejecting requests that don't align with your priorities or your needs. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could be more fulfilling or beneficial to your personal growth, well-being, or goals. Saying no empowers you to keep your time aligned with what matters most. Why saying no is so difficult. Saying no often comes with a heavy burden of guilt, and it's easy to feel like we're disappointing or letting people down. But the root of this guilt often lies in our desire to be liked or to avoid conflict. We fear that saying no will make us appear rude, unhelpful, or selfish. This fear is rooted in societal conditioning. We are taught from an early age to be kind, accommodating, and helpful, to say yes when asked, to put others' needs before our own. But while this sounds virtuous on the surface, it leads to a lifetime of overcommitment, stress, and burnout. The truth is, by constantly saying yes, we undermine our own needs, and we teach others that our time is expendable. To overcome this, we need to reframe how we view saying no. Saying no is not about being selfish. It's about practicing self-care. By saying no, you are preserving your ability to show up as your best self when you say yes. It's about setting healthy boundaries, respecting your time, and protecting your energy. Saying no allows you to honor your own needs without sacrificing your peace or well-being. How to say no without guilt. Saying no doesn't have to be awkward or uncomfortable. It can be done with kindness, respect, and clarity. The key is to be confident in your decision and not feel the need to justify or over-explain. Here are some strategies to help you say no with grace and ease. Be direct but kind. You don't need to apologize for saying no. A simple, direct response is often the best approach. For example, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I won't be able to take on that task right now. No explanation is needed, and there's no need to over-apologize. Your time is valuable, and it's okay to say no when something doesn't serve you. Offer an alternative. When appropriate, if you want to maintain the relationship or still help in some way, offer an alternative. For instance, I'm unable to attend a meeting, but I'd be happy to share my notes with you afterward. Offering an alternative solution allows you to stay helpful without overcommitting yourself. Set a firm boundary. Sometimes a firm boundary is necessary. If you've said no before but someone continues to push, it's important to reinforce your decision. You might say, I've already committed to other priorities and won't be able to take on anything else right now. I hope you understand. Don't over-explain. One of the biggest traps in saying no is the tendency to over-explain or justify your decision. You don't need to provide a detailed explanation for why you're saying no. A simple and respectful answer is enough. The more you explain, the more room there is for negotiation, and the more likely you are to feel guilty or pressured. Recognize the right to say no. Remember that you have the right to say no for any reason, or no reason at all. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you need to protect your time. Trust that your time is your own, and you have the right to prioritize it however you see fit. Practice saying no. Like any skill, saying no becomes easier with practice. Start small. Practice saying no to minor requests or low-impact tasks. Over time, as you gain confidence, it will become easier to say no when it matters most. Overcoming the guilt. Even when you know saying no is the right choice, guilt can still creep in. The key to overcoming this guilt is recognizing that your decision to say no is ultimately a self-respecting and life-enhancing choice. When you say no, you are not letting anyone down. You are simply prioritizing your own well-being, which allows you to be more effective and present in the long run. To overcome the guilt, remind yourself of the reasons you said no in the first place. Reflect on your goals, your commitments, and what truly matters to you. You'll quickly see that by saying no, you're actually making room for things that are most important. It's also helpful to acknowledge that guilt is often irrational. People will understand when you say no, especially when it's done with respect. In fact, many will appreciate your honesty and your ability to set boundaries. Setting boundaries as a form of self-respect. Saying no is, at its core, a form of self-respect. When you respect your time, others are more likely to respect it too. By setting clear boundaries, you teach people how to treat you and how to respect your time. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about creating a space where your needs are honored, where you can focus on your priorities without feeling guilty or overwhelmed. When you say no without guilt, you unlock more energy, focus, and time for the things that matter most. You become more intentional with your choices, more aligned with your goals, and more present in your relationships. By mastering the skill, you protect your peace and embrace a life of balance and purpose. Embrace your power over time. Mastering time management is not about perfection or fitting everything into every moment of your day. It's about taking control of your most precious resource, your time, and using it intentionally to align with your goals, values, and dreams. The time management circle, the process of planning, prioritizing, executing, and reflecting, is designed to empower you to live a life filled with purpose, focus, and balance. By embracing the practices of clear planning, decisive prioritization, disciplined execution, and insightful reflection, you are setting yourself up for lasting success. More than just ticking off tasks, you're creating a life where every action serves a greater purpose. Your time is now in your hands, where it belongs. Remember, Becoming a master of time management is a continuous journey. You will encounter challenges and setbacks, but with each cycle of planning and reflection, you will grow stronger and more effective. You will learn to say no without guilt, set boundaries with confidence, and protect your time with respect. This audiobook is just the beginning of your transformation. As you move forward, keep refining your approach, keep evolving, and always remember that time, when managed well, becomes the greatest ally in your pursuit of a life that's not only successful but deeply fulfilling. Your time is now. Thank you for listening and for committing to make the most of your time. If you found this guide helpful and want to continue your journey toward mastering your time and becoming the best version of yourself, don't forget to subscribe and stay connected. We have more valuable content and tools on the way to help you sharpen your skills, achieve your goals, and live a life you love. Subscribe now to stay up to date with more tips, strategies, and tools for mastering your time and making every moment count.